Hello, and welcome to the Campfire Session chat. I'm Luke Jacobs, CEO and host for Encamp. We're continuing our conversation with Dr. Luc, and we're going to discuss some chemical hazard and classification topics. So to get it started, Dr. Luc, are there any well-known chemicals that are not classified the same way under GHS from one country to another? Kind of like, big common chemicals that you'd run into a lot.
Well, one that is extremely popular right now with all of this COVID-19 pandemic unfortunate event is
Mm,
ethanol.
yeah,
And
yeah.
ethanol, believe it or not, was classified in Europe as only being a flammable liquid. If they, once they converted the flammable liquid, such as where the R phrases before into GHS, they converted into a flammable liquid under GHS, as simple as that. Although we know that in the America, we must look at other toxicological information, and we would normally also classify it as an irritant minimally. And
Hmm.
therefore, you can come up with different classification under GHS depending on the type of data that you're looking at. The issue with the European Union is that they do publish a classification for
Mm-hmm.
substances, and ultimately you should rely on that publication to make the classification over there. So yes, you can come to some differences. Other type of differences could be that, for example, in Europe again, they are very strong on enforcing the environmental hazards for all chemicals, and in Australia, fortunately for the Corif barrier, they decided not to implement environmental hazard at all. So if
Mm.
you ship products both to Europe and Australia, and it is environmentally classified in Europe, then it would not be in Australia. That to show an example. The others would
Mhm,
be the different
mhm.
categories that we can encounter in one country or the other. So there's lots of differences possible at
Yeah, definitely.
this.
So yeah, something that you've been mentioning, a couple different times is California Prop 65. Just what is Prop 65 for anyone tuning in?
Well, essentially, beautiful state of California put together a list of ingredients that are considered by the state of California to harm the health of the public, general public. And
Mhm,
this is very specifically related with carcinogenic, environmental, not environmental, developmental toxic and reprotoxic
mhm.
ingredients. And this list is, of course, being updated by the authorities on a uh, monthly or yearly basis. So
Mhm.
uh, the issue with the Prop 65 ingredient is that number one, if it is present in your mixture at any level of concentration, and it could be as low as ppb
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
ppm if you don't know what ppb is, and these must be shown on the label with a sign now, an hazard sign, which is now a little triangle, yellow triangle with an exclamation mark in there. And that's a requirement for the labeling. Prop
Mhm.
65 is listing these products, and one that I've looked at recently was they're thinking to bring acetaminophen,
Yeah,
which is a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
very
Common.
kind of counter type of product that you can buy at the drugstore, as a
Mhm.
potential listed as carcinogen.
Hmm.
So I have to admit, I was kind of heavily surprised to see that there it is not yet adopted. With pandemic, again, it has been delayed, but there are
Mhm.
studies that would tend to prove the carcinogenicity of this ingredient. If so, then we'll have to see the doses and impact
Mhm.
on our health, because it's a very very common chemical.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's really interesting. I hadn't
Mhm.
heard that. How recently did that get kind of that
Actually,
research come out? Yeah.
they was supposed to get together and go to an almost final decision this spring of 2020. But as I said, it has been postponed because of the situation, the worldwide situation right now. But they already gathered all of the studies, and groups at the CalOSHA have already looked at the results, and they're tending to go this way. So we'll see when the conclusion comes up what kind of impact this may have.